Whether you're a beginner or an experienced developer, staying ahead of the curve is essential. The web development world has changed a lot over the past year, and in this video, I'll show you the latest technologies and trends to learn. By the end of this roadmap, you will know how to build cutting-edge applications and boost your career as a modern developer. Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Code and Create. Today I'm giving you a comprehensive web developers roadmap for this year. If you're new here, I'm George and I run the channel with my friend Lasha. Together we've been teaching web development for several years on various platforms, helping thousands of students build their skills and achieve their goals. If you enjoyed the content we share, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out our upcoming tutorials. Your support helps us grow and we're on a mission to reach 20,000 subscribers. Also feel free to drop a comment below, we love hearing from you. The past year has been kinda revolutionary time for web development. And a major driver of this transformation is the rise of AI tools. Technologies like ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot have fundamentally changed the way developers approach their work. Instead of spending hours memorizing syntax or grinding through repetitive tasks, developers are now empowered to focus on solving real-world problems and building better applications faster. Take GitHub Copilot as an example. It's like having a pair programmer who's always available, lightning fast, and incredibly knowledgeable. You can start typing a few lines of code, and Copilot will suggest entire functions or components, saving your hours of work. Imagine writing complex algorithms, reusable components, or even API integrations in mere seconds, just by providing a bit of context. On the other hand, ChatGPT serves as an all-around coding assistant, ready to help you debug tricky issues, optimize your code for better performance, or even explain new concepts and technologies in a way that's easy to grasp. It's like having an on-demand mentor that works with you every step of the way. While AI has undoubtedly changed the way developers work, it's important to remember that it's a tool, not a replacement for human expertise. AI can speed up coding, offer suggestions, and simplify repetitive tasks, but it relies on your knowledge and understanding to truly shine. Without a solid grasp of programming concepts and problem-solving skills, you won't be able to fully leverage AI's capabilities or catch potential mistakes in its suggestions. At the end of the day, human creativity, critical thinking, and decision-making remain irreplaceable. So while AI can be a powerful ally, investing in your learning and developing your skills is the key to staying ahead in this ever-evolving field. If you're curious about the latest trends and technologies shaping the industry, stick around because the roadmap will give you all the insights you need to stay ahead. If you're just starting out with the web development, the best place to begin is with the fundamentals. I'm talking about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the core technologies that everything in web development is built on. And trust me, they are still super important to learn this year, no matter what new tools or frameworks come out. When it comes to HTML, there are two key areas you should really focus on: Semantic HTML and forms. In the case of Semantic HTML, it's all about writing HTML that actually makes sense, not just to you, but to browsers, search engines, and assistive technologies like screen readers. Instead of throwing in divs and spans everywhere, use tags like header for the top section, nav for menus, and article for blog posts. Why does this matter? Well, for one, your code becomes way easier to read and maintain, plus search engines love it, which helps with SEO, and people using assistive tag will have a much smoother experience. Next up we have forms. And forms are everywhere. Whether you're signing up for a newsletter, logging in, or searching for something, forms are the backbone of user interaction. That's why it is so important to nail them. Start by mastering the basics like input fields for text, email, or passwords, and button for submissions. Then get familiar with attributes like placeholder to guide users, required for validation, and even pattern for custom input rules. Forms might seem simple, but there is a lot you can do to improve the user experience. CSS is where your designs come to life, and focusing on the right areas can make a huge difference in how modern and professional your websites look. It's not just about making things pretty, it's about creating layouts that are clean, responsive, and easy to navigate. Let's dive into the most important CSS skills you should focus on this year. First, let's talk about the box model. The box model is the foundation of how elements behave in CSS, and understanding it is crucial. Every element on your page is basically a rectangular box, and the box model explains how its size and space are determined. You've got the content at the core, padding around the content, a border outside the padding, and margins that separate the element from others. If you don't get this right, you will constantly struggle with weird spacing issues or layouts that don't align properly. Next up is Flexbox. This is a great tool for creating flexible and responsive layouts with ease. With Flexbox, centering items vertically and horizontally becomes super simple. It is also great for creating rows or columns that adjust perfectly no matter the screen size. For example, you can make a row of cards wrap neatly on smaller screens or align your nav for items evenly with just a few lines of CSS. While Flexbox is perfect for one-dimensional layouts, CSS Grid takes things to a new level by handling two-dimensional layouts. Imagine designing a photo gallery, a dashboard, or a complex landing page with rows and columns that fit together perfectly. Grid makes this not only possible, but incredibly easy. You can define areas, control spacing, and rearrange elements for different screen sizes, all with just a few CSS rules. It gives you so much control and creative freedom that your layouts will look clean, balanced, and professional. Let's not forget about animations and transitions. Static designs can feel a little boring. That's where animations and transitions come in. They add that extra touch of polish that makes your site feel alive and interactive. A simple hover effect on a button, a fade in for images, or even a smooth slide when switching sections can make a huge difference in user experience. If you want to create more detailed animations, CSS keyframes are the way to go. Keyframes allow you to define step-by-step movements, like sliding an element into view, making it bounce slightly, or rotating an icon. For example, you can use keyframes to create a scrolling text effect or animate a loading indicator. Of course, we can't skip responsiveness. If your site doesn't work well on different devices, that would be a problem. Responsiveness ensures your site looks and functions beautifully on every screen size, from tiny phones to massive desktop monitors. This means using media queries to adjust your layouts, text sizes, and images based on the device width. For instance, you might use a single column layout on mobile and switch to a grid layout on larger screens. A responsive design not only improves user experience but also boosts SEO, since search engines prioritize mobile-friendly sites. In today's mobile-first world, learning to build responsive layouts is super important. Finally, let's talk about CSS Variables. CSS Variables are a lifesaver when it comes to managing your styles efficiently. Instead of repeating values like colors, fonts, or spacing throughout your CSS, you can define them once as variables. For example, you can set primary color to your brand's main color and reuse it everywhere. If you need to update the color later, then you have to change it in one place and it updates across your entire site. Now that we've covered styling, let's talk about JavaScript. I'll recommend the key aspects you need to focus on this year to build dynamic, interactive, and functional projects. So here is what you should focus on when learning JavaScript. Let's start with variables. They're the foundation of storing and managing data in your code. You will mainly use two types, let and const. Const is for values that don't change, like a user's role or a website's theme. On the other hand, let is used when the value might change, such as a counter or form input. Understanding when to use each one keeps your code organized and easier to debug. You won't need var anymore as it's outdated and rarely used in modern JavaScript. Next we have arrays, one of the most powerful tools in JavaScript for working with collections of data. Think of arrays as ordered lists. You can use them to store anything, like a list of usernames, products in a shopping cart, or even a sequence of numbers. The beauty of arrays is that they are super flexible and easy to work with. Once you've created an array, you will want to learn the methods that make managing data a breeze. For example, push lets you add a new item to the end of the array, while pop removes the last one. If you need to transform the data, map allows you to create a new array by applying a function to every element. If you want to filter out specific items, the filter method is perfect for that. And it doesn't stop there. You will also encounter for each for looping through arrays, find to locate a specific item, and reduce to perform calculations on your array, like summing up numbers. Understanding these methods will not only make your code cleaner and more efficient, but also save you from writing repetitive loops. Now let's talk about objects. While arrays are great for lists of data, objects are ideal for representing more structured and meaningful information. They allow you to organize related data into key value pairs, where each key acts as a label for its corresponding value. For example, if you're building a user profile, an object could store details like the user's name, email, and age. You can even add more information, such as their address or preferences, making it a versatile way to handle complex data. Objects are not only easy to create, but also simple to work with. You can access or modify any piece of information by using dot notation, like user.name, or bracket notation, like so. This flexibility allows you to manage data in a clean and readable way, which is crucial as your projects grow in size and complexity. Next up, we have functions. Functions are one of the most fundamental and powerful features of JavaScript. They let you group a block of code together, making it reusable and easier to maintain. Instead of repeating the same logic in different parts of your code, you can define a function once and call it whenever needed, saving time and reducing errors. Let's break down the structure of a function to understand how it works. We have two different functions, traditional and arrow. A traditional function starts with the function keyword, followed by the function's name. This is how you refer to and call the function later. Next we have parameters. Parameters act as placeholders for the actual values you will provide when calling the function. And then we have function body, where you write the code that will execute when the function is called. To use the function, you simply call it by its name and provide any necessary arguments. Arrow functions remove the need for the function keyword and use an arrow between the parameter list and the function body. For simple one-line functions, you can even omit the curly braces and the return keyword. One key difference to note is how arrow functions handle this. Unlike traditional functions, arrow functions don't have their own this context. They inherit it from the surrounding scope. This makes them particularly useful in certain scenarios, like working with callbacks or inside methods of objects. Once you master the basics, learning document object model manipulation is essential for creating dynamic and interactive websites. The DOM represents your web page as a structured tree of elements, and with JavaScript, you can easily update its content and structure. If you want to change a heading, hide an element, or add a new button, DOM manipulation lets you do all of that. You will start by selecting elements using methods like querySelector or getElementById, and then modify them. For example, you can change a heading's text. You can also add interactivity by using event listeners, like showing a message when a button is clicked. So, learning DOM manipulation is important because it's the foundation for building features like form validation, dynamic content updates, and interactive elements without needing to reload the page. Finally, let's talk about asynchronous JavaScript, a crucial concept for building modern web applications. Asynchronous code allows your program to handle tasks like fetching data from an API, submitting forms, or loading content without freezing the entire page. The two main tools you will use to handle asynchronous operations are promises and async await. Promises allow you to manage tasks that take time, like retrieving data from a server, and handle the result once it is ready. For example, using the then method lets you specify what should happen after the promise resolves. With async await, you can write asynchronous code that looks and behaves more like regular synchronous code, making it easier to read and understand. Asynchronous JavaScript is essential for building features like real-time updates, live search suggestions, and dynamic content loading. It allows your applications to communicate with servers seamlessly, providing users with a fast and interactive experience. Whether you're working on a small project or a complex app, mastering asynchronous JavaScript is very important. Alright, so the fundamentals HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are absolutely essential, and you need to grasp their key aspects to build a strong foundation. However, don't get stuck here too long. Focus on learning the most important concepts, practice as much as you can, and then move on to frameworks and libraries. These tools will help you build more advanced, efficient, and modern applications, and that's where the real growth happens as a developer. Now that you've got the fundamentals, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript under your belt, it's time to level up, and in my opinion, React.js is the best next step. In fact, I would say it's a must-learn for any modern web developer. Why? Because React makes building interactive, fast, and scalable applications so much easier. It is component-based, meaning you can break your UI into small, reusable pieces of code, which simplifies development and improves maintainability. You don't have to worry about manually updating the DOM. React handles it for you, making your code more efficient and easier to debug. So, let's break down the key aspects of React you need to focus on this year. Components are the heart of React, and the first thing you need to master. Think of them as self-contained building blocks for your UI. A component can be as simple as a button or as complex as an entire form. Each component is a JavaScript function that returns JSX, a syntax that lets you write HTML-like code directly in JavaScript. Here is a basic example of a functional component. This welcome component outputs an h1 element which you can reuse anywhere in your app. You can also nest components, making your app modular and easy to manage. Next up is props. Props, short for properties, are how you pass data from one component to another in React. They make your components dynamic, flexible, and reusable by allowing you to customize their behavior and appearance depending on the context in which they are used. For example, let's say you have a button component, and you want to reuse it with different labels. Props let you achieve that without having to write a new component each time. Here is a simple example. In this example, props is an object that holds all the data passed to the button component. Props.label refers to the specific piece of data you're passing, which in this case will be displayed inside the button element. The component dynamically renders the value of props.label as its content, making it adaptable to different use cases. Now, when you use the button component, you can pass different labels like this. This makes your button component reusable and efficient, as you don't have to create separate components for every variation. Now, let's talk about hooks. Hooks are one of the most powerful features in React. They allow you to use state and other React features in functional components, which makes your code cleaner, more modular, and easier to work with. Let's take a closer look at two of the most commonly used hooks, useState and useEffect. The useState hook is used to manage state within a functional component. State represents data that can change over time, such as user input, a counter, or a toggle for showing and hiding content. With useState, you can define a piece of state and a function to update it. Here is a basic example. Count is the state variable that holds the current value, which is initially set to 0. setCount is the function used to update the value of count. The useState hook is called with an initial value of 0, which sets the initial state of count. You can then use this state in your component and update it based on user interactions. For example, a simple counter might look like this. In this example, clicking the button calls the setCount function, which updates the count state. React automatically re-renders the component to display the updated value. The useEffect hook is used to handle side effects in your components. Side effects include things like fetching data, interacting with the browser's DOM, or setting up subscriptions. useEffect runs after the component renders, ensuring your UI updates correctly without blocking the initial render. In this example, this hook takes two arguments, a function and an optional dependency array. The function contains the side effect you want to perform, in this case, logging a message to the console. The dependency array ensures the effect runs only once when the component mounts. Without this array, the effect would run after every render, which is rarely what you want. Besides those built-in hooks, React comes with custom hooks as well. Custom hooks are a way to extract and reuse logic across multiple components. They are essentially JavaScript functions that use built-in React hooks like useState or useEffect to handle specific functionality. For example, if you are working on multiple components that need to fetch data, you can create a custom hook like useFetch and manage that logic in one place. This keeps your components clean and focused on rendering, while the hook handles the complex logic behind the scenes. The next key aspect in React is state management. As your application grows, you will often need to share state between multiple components. While React's built-in useState works well for local state, it doesn't scale when data needs to be passed down through several layers of components, a problem known as prop drilling. Prop drilling can make your code messy and hard to maintain. This is where state management solutions come in, providing a cleaner and more efficient way to manage global state. Let's break down three popular options. The Context API is React's built-in tool for managing global state. It's best suited for small to medium-sized applications, or when you need to share simple, global data like themes, user authentication, or language preferences. With Context, you create a provider that wraps your components, allowing any child component to access the shared data without passing props down manually. Here is a simple example of using Context to manage a theme. This example demonstrates how to use the Context API to manage and share a global state across multiple components without prop drilling. Here, React.createContext creates a theme context that will hold the shared state. ThemeContext.provider wraps the toolbar component in the app component, providing a value of dark to all child components. Inside ThemeButton, the useContext hook is used to access the current value of ThemeContext. The button in ThemeButton dynamically applies the theme class, making it styled according to the global theme. This eliminates the need to pass the theme prop manually through toolbar to ThemeButton, keeping the code cleaner and more maintainable. Shadcn is a lightweight and modern state management library that provides a more straightforward and intuitive way to manage global state compared to more complex tools like Redux. It doesn't require boilerplate code or configuration, unlike React's built-in options such as useState or Context API, Shadcn is a third-party solution specifically designed to handle state efficiently. Creating a store in Shadcn is as simple as this. This example demonstrates how to use Shadcn for state management in a React application. Create function initializes a global store using Shadcn. This store contains count, a state variable initialized to 0, and increase, a function that updates count by incrementing it. Then we have useStore, a custom hook that provides access to the global store. Components can use this hook to get or update the state. Next we have counter component. It destructures count and increase from useStore. Then it displays the current count value inside a p tag and includes a button that calls increase to update the count when clicked. This setup allows you to manage and update global state with minimal boilerplate, making your code clean and efficient. Next up, we have Redux. Redux is a powerful and widely used state management library designed for larger applications with complex state requirements. It follows a unidirectional data flow where all the state is stored in a single object called the store. Components can access the store and dispatch actions to update the state. In Redux, we have three key things: store, which holds the entire state of your app; actions, objects that describe what you want to do; and reducers, functions that take the current state and an action and return a new state. Here is a basic example of how Redux works. Initial state defines the initial state of the app with count set to 0. Then we have counter reducer, a function that takes the current state and an action as inputs and returns a new state based on the action type. If the action type is increment, it returns a new state with count incremented by 1. For any other action type, it returns the current state unchanged. This reducer manages state updates in a predictable, centralized way, which is a core principle of Redux. Now, the main question: which one should you use? The Context API is ideal for small projects or scenarios where you need to share simple global data, such as themes, user authentication, or language preferences. It's built into React, making it easy to use without adding extra dependencies. However, as your application grows, managing more complex state with the Context API alone can become cumbersome. Shadcn is a great middle ground solution. It's modern, lightweight, and designed to handle global state without the overhead and boilerplate of more traditional tools like Redux. Its intuitive API and minimal setup make it perfect for developers who want an efficient and flexible state management solution for medium-sized projects. For larger and more complex applications, Redux is the best choice. It's built to handle large-scale global state with a structured, predictable data flow. While it has a steeper learning curve and requires more boilerplate, Redux provides powerful tools like middleware, DevTools, and a clear separation of actions, reducers, and store. This makes it a robust choice when your app involves a lot of data interactions or complex state logic. Next up is styling, a crucial part of both React and frontend development as a whole. My top recommendation for modern styling is Tailwind CSS, and for good reason. Tailwind is a utility-first CSS framework that allows you to style your components directly in your JSX using predefined classes. This approach makes development faster, more consistent, and incredibly efficient. Here is why Tailwind CSS is so optimal and handy nowadays. With Tailwind, you don't need to switch back and forth between your CSS and JSX files. You apply styles directly in your HTML like JSX, which means no writing custom CSS for every small change. If you need to center text or add padding, just use classes like Text Center or P4. This simplicity speeds up your workflow and keeps your focus on building the UI. Creating responsive designs is a breeze with Tailwind. It has built-in classes for different breakpoints, so you can easily style your components for various screen sizes without writing additional media queries. Tailwind promotes design consistency by providing a predefined set of spacing, colors, and typography classes. Instead of guessing margins or paddings, you use standardized values like M4 or text gray 700, which helps maintain a cohesive look throughout your project. Although Tailwind comes with a comprehensive set of utility classes, it's also highly customizable. You can easily extend or modify the default configuration to match your project's design system. Whether it is tweaking colors, adjusting font sizes, or setting custom breakpoints, Tailwind adapts to your needs without requiring complex overrides. By using utility classes, Tailwind reduces the need for lengthy custom CSS files, which can often get messy and hard to maintain. Your styles are applied directly where they are needed, keeping your codebase clean and organized. This is especially helpful in team projects where maintaining clarity and consistency is key. While my top recommendation for building modern web applications is React, it is important to know there are other frameworks and libraries out there that may suit different needs or preferences. Let's take a quick look at Angular, Vue, and Svelte, so you can explore all your options and make an informed choice. Angular, maintained by Google, is a complete, full-fledged framework designed for building large-scale, enterprise-grade applications. It uses TypeScript as its primary language, which adds type safety and makes your code more maintainable and scalable in the long run. Actually, we will discuss TypeScript in more detail later. If you're working on a large, team-based project, then Angular might be an excellent choice. Vue is often celebrated for its simplicity and flexibility, making it a fantastic choice for both beginners and experienced developers. It combines the best of React's component-based architecture and Angular's templating system, resulting in an intuitive and easy-to-learn framework. With Vue, you can start small by integrating it into an existing project or go all in and build a fully-fledged single-page application. Its single-file components allow you to write HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in a single file, keeping your code organized. Svelte is a newer framework that takes a fresh approach to building web applications. Unlike React or Vue, which rely on a virtual DOM to efficiently update the UI, Svelte shifts much of the work to the compile step. This means that your code is compiled into optimized vanilla JavaScript during build time, resulting in faster runtime performance and smaller bundle sizes. Because of its focus on performance and simplicity, Svelte is gaining popularity among developers looking for a modern, efficient solution for building fast, highly optimized web applications. Now, let's talk about TypeScript, which has been steadily gaining popularity over the past year. TypeScript is essentially a superset of JavaScript, meaning it builds on JavaScript by adding features like static typing and better tooling. But don't worry, it's not a completely new language, it just adds an extra layer of security and clarity to your code. It's like JavaScript, but with additional powers. One of the biggest advantages of TypeScript is type safety. It helps catch errors early in development, long before your code even runs. For example, in JavaScript, you could easily make a mistake like this. Here, JavaScript doesn't enforce any type rules, so passing a number and a string results in unexpected behavior. String concatenation instead of numeric addition. In a larger project, mistakes like this can easily slip through and cause bugs. In TypeScript, you can avoid this by explicitly defining the types of your function parameters and return value. In this example, A and B are strictly typed as numbers, so if you try to pass a string, TypeScript will flag the error immediately. This prevents bugs and makes your code more robust. TypeScript also enhances developer productivity with features like intelligent auto-completion and better IDE support. Let's look at another example with objects. In this example, We define a user type with name and age properties. When you create a user object, TypeScript ensures it adheres to the defined type. Additionally, your IDE will provide auto-completion for the name and age properties, helping you write code faster and with fewer errors. If you accidentally misspell a property or leave one out, TypeScript will immediately flag it, ensuring your code stays consistent and error-free. TypeScript's rising popularity can also be attributed to its strong adoption by major frameworks like Angular and its seamless integration with React. It makes your codebase more scalable and easier to maintain, which is a big deal for growing projects and teams. Whether you're building a small app or a large enterprise-level system, TypeScript is becoming the go-to choice for modern web development and is definitely worth adding to your toolkit this year. Now that we've explored the essential front-end technologies to focus on this year, it's time to dive into the world of backend development. Understanding backend technologies is just as crucial for building modern full-stack applications. So, let's explore the key technologies you should focus on to stay ahead. Now, let me start with Next.js, my top recommendation for building modern full-stack web applications. Next.js is a game changer. It bridges the gap between front-end and backend, offering a complete framework that simplifies development while boosting performance. With its growing popularity, especially after the release of version 15, Next.js has become the go-to solution for developers looking to build fast, scalable, and SEO-friendly applications. Here is why it's my favorite. Next.js takes care of so many things out of the box, like routing, server-side rendering, and data fetching. So you can focus on building great features without worrying about tedious configurations. Whether you're working on small projects or large-scale applications, Next.js has you covered. Let's explore some of its key aspects and features that make it stand out. One of the best things about Next.js is its file-based routing system. Unlike traditional frameworks that require you to set up complex route configurations, Next.js automatically generates routes based on your file structure. If you create a file named pages index.js, it becomes your home page, and a file named pages about.js becomes the about route. Here is an example of how dynamic routing works. With this setup, URLs like post1 or post42 automatically render the post component with the corresponding ID. This makes it incredibly easy to handle dynamic content like blog posts or user profiles without writing extra code for route management. Next up, we have server components. Server components are very important for optimizing performance. They allow you to fetch data and perform heavy computations directly on the server, then send fully rendered HTML to the client. This reduces the amount of JavaScript sent to the browser, resulting in faster load times and improved user experience. For example, here is how a server component might look. In this example, the component fetches data from an API on the server, processes it, and sends the fully rendered HTML back to the client. The client doesn't need to handle the data fetching or rendering, which improves both performance and SEO. This approach has several benefits. The browser receives pre-rendered content, improving SEO and reducing the time to interact. Heavy data fetching tasks are offloaded to the server, reducing the workload on the client. And it simplifies your code by handling data fetching logic server-side, making client-side components lighter and more efficient. Server components are perfect for pages with dynamic data, like e-commerce product listings or dashboards, where performance and SEO are crucial. Server actions streamline server-side tasks like form submissions, data mutations, or database updates. Traditionally, handling these operations required creating separate API endpoints and calling them from the client. With server actions, you can skip that extra layer and define your server-side logic directly within your components or utility files. This approach not only reduces the amount of client-side code, but also enhances performance by minimizing unnecessary client-server communication. It is a more secure way to handle sensitive operations such as database writes, since all logic stays on the server and is not exposed to the client. Here is a simple example of a server action. useServer is a directive that marks the function as a server action, ensuring it only runs on the server. SubmitForm function handles form submissions. It takes data as input, processes it, and returns a success response. By running this logic on the server, you eliminate the need to create an API route and call it from the client, making the overall process simpler and more efficient. Next.js offers powerful rendering options to optimize performance based on your app's needs. We have SSR, which stands for server-side rendering, and SSG, static site generation. In the case of SSR, pages are rendered on each request, ensuring users see the most up-to-date content. This is perfect for apps with frequently changing data, like user dashboards or real-time feeds. As for the static site generation, pages are pre-rendered at build time and served as static HTML, resulting in ultra-fast load times. This is ideal for content that doesn't change often, like blogs or marketing pages. Caching is crucial for performance, and Next.js makes it easy with built-in caching mechanisms. When you pre-render pages with SSG or fetch data during SSR, Next.js automatically caches the results, ensuring faster responses for subsequent requests. With the new Cache API, you can fine-tune caching behavior to balance performance and data freshness. For example, you can set specific revalidation times for data fetching operations, ensuring that your app serves fresh content while still benefiting from cached responses. This improves both the speed and scalability of your app. Next, we have a middleware. Middleware is a powerful feature introduced in Next.js 15 that allows you to execute custom logic before a request is completed. It acts as a gatekeeper for your application, enabling you to perform tasks like authentication, logging, analytics, or even redirecting users based on specific conditions, all before your application serves the response. This feature is especially useful for securing routes, dynamically modifying requests, or handling localization. Here is an example of a simple authentication middleware. Middleware function runs before the requested resource is served. It takes the request object as input, allowing it to inspect and manipulate it. The middleware checks for an authentication token in the request cookies to verify if the user is authenticated. If no token is found, the middleware returns a 401 unauthorized response, blocking access to the requested route. This ensures that only authenticated users can access protected pages, adding a crucial layer of security. Next.js also comes with a built-in image optimization feature, which automatically resizes and serves images in the most efficient formats. This reduces load times and ensures your app performs well on any device. You simply use the image component, and Next.js handles the rest, like lazy loading and serving optimized images. So, why Next.js? Next.js stands out because it combines front-end and back-end capabilities in a single framework, simplifying the development process while optimizing performance. With features like server components, server actions, and middleware, it is a comprehensive solution for building modern, production-ready web applications. If you're serious about developing fast, scalable, and feature-rich apps, Next.js should be at the top of your list. Once we've covered Next.js, it's time to take a quick look at Remix, another powerful framework that's been gaining traction and is definitely worth exploring this year. Remix focuses on providing an exceptional developer experience while building fast, scalable, and user-friendly web applications. With its unique approach to routing data fetching, and server-side rendering, Remix simplifies building dynamic, full-stack apps that deliver top-notch performance. Remix has a unique nested routing system, allowing each route to define its own data requirements, layout, and error boundaries. This leads to cleaner, more modular code, as each part of the UI manages its own data and behavior. For example, if a user navigates to this path, only the specific parts of the UI tied to that route are updated. Remix integrates easily with modern tools like React, TypeScript, and various CSS frameworks. It also provides first-class support for cloud platforms, allowing you to deploy quickly and efficiently. As web applications become increasingly complex, developers are seeking frameworks that balance performance, simplicity, and scalability. Remix offers a modern approach to full-stack development, making it a strong contender alongside frameworks like Next.js. Now, while Remix is an excellent choice for modern web development, it's not the only option out there. Depending on your preferred front-end framework, there are other powerful full-stack frameworks worth exploring. If you are a fan of Vue, Nuxt.js is the full-stack framework for you. It simplifies the process of building performant and SEO-friendly applications with features like server-side rendering and static site generation. Nuxt's modular architecture and powerful plugins make it easy to extend functionality, while its file-based routing system keeps your code organized and intuitive. Whether you're building a blog, e-commerce site, or complex web app, Nuxt.js is a great choice for leveraging Vue's reactive power in a full-stack environment. For those who prefer Angular, Angular Universal brings full-stack capabilities to the table. It enables server-side rendering for Angular apps, improving both performance and SEO. If you're already comfortable with Angular's ecosystem, Universal is a natural next step for building scalable, high-performance applications. SvelteKit is the full-stack framework for Svelte enthusiasts. It's designed to provide a seamless development experience, offering server-side rendering, static site generation, and optimized client-side performance. SvelteKit compiles your code into highly efficient JavaScript, resulting in faster apps with smaller bundle sizes. Its simplicity and focus on performance make it a great choice for developers looking to build modern, lightweight applications without the complexity of traditional frameworks. Each of these frameworks is tailored to a specific front-end library or framework, allowing you to work within an ecosystem you're comfortable with while taking advantage of powerful full-stack features. While full-stack frameworks like Next.js, Remix, Nuxt.js handle both front-end and backend within a single ecosystem, separate backend technologies focus solely on building the server-side logic of your application. The main difference is that full-stack frameworks integrate everything from routing to rendering into one seamless package, while separate backend technologies specialize in managing APIs, databases, and server-side operations independently. Let's explore some of the most popular separate backend technologies and frameworks that are worth considering this year. Node.js is a runtime that allows you to run JavaScript on the server, making it possible to use the same language for both front-end and back-end development. It's lightweight, fast, and well suited for building scalable applications. Express is a minimalist framework for Node.js, offering a straightforward way to handle routing, middleware, and requests. It is perfect for developers who prefer simplicity and full control over their application structure. Nest.js, on the other hand, provides a more structured, feature-rich framework that uses TypeScript by default. With its support for dependency injection and modular architecture, Nest.js is ideal for large-scale applications. Whether you're creating a simple API with Express or a full-fledged application with Nest.js, Node.js provides the flexibility to cater to projects of any size. Next up, we have PHP. PHP is one of the oldest and most widely used backend languages, known for its reliability and easy of use. Its flagship framework, Laravel, brings modern tools and best practices to PHP development. Laravel's elegant syntax and built-in features for tasks like authentication, routing, and database management make it a favorite among developers. Its eloquent ORM simplifies database interactions, while tools like task scheduling and queues streamline backend processes. Laravel is particularly well suited for building dynamic web applications like blogs, e-commerce platforms, or content management systems. Python is known for being easy to read and highly versatile, and Django is its premier framework for backend development. Django is a high-level, batteries-included framework, meaning it comes with everything you need to build robust web applications: routing, authentication, database management, and more. Django's focus on rapid development and clean design allows developers to build scalable applications quickly and efficiently. It prioritizes security and includes features like automatic protection against common vulnerabilities. Whether you're building APIs, dashboards, or complex data-driven platforms, Django is an excellent choice for developers who want a straightforward and powerful backend solution. I want also to refer to Ruby, which is a dynamic, beginner-friendly language, and its framework, Ruby on Rails, is well known for promoting rapid development and clean maintainable code. Rails is designed to make common web development tasks like routing, database interactions, and form handling incredibly simple thanks to its convention over configuration philosophy. Rails also provides a smooth, intuitive development experience. Its built-in tools such as Active Record for database management make it easy to handle complex backend logic. Ruby on Rails is perfect for startups, MVPs, and projects where speed and productivity are priorities. So Ruby on Rails is definitely worth exploring. Now, after exploring backend technologies, it's time to explore an essential part of any backend system: databases. Whether you're storing user data, managing content, or logging transactions, choosing the right database is very important. Databases generally fall into two categories: SQL and NoSQL. Each type has its strengths depending on the structure and needs of your application. Let's break down the key differences and explore some of the most popular databases in both categories. SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, databases are relational databases that organize data into tables with rows and columns, much like a spreadsheet. They are ideal for applications with structured data and clearly defined relationships like e-commerce, financial systems, or content management. PostgreSQL, or simply Postgres, is a powerful and highly versatile SQL database. It is known for its robustness and support for complex queries. MySQL is one of the most widely used SQL databases, powering platforms like WordPress and e-commerce stores. It's fast, reliable, and relatively easy to set up, making it ideal for projects where performance and simplicity are key. SQLite is a lightweight SQL database that's embedded directly into your application. No need for a separate server. It is perfect for small to medium-sized projects, prototyping, or mobile apps. Now, it's time to explore NoSQL databases. Unlike SQL databases, NoSQL databases store data in a non-tabular format, such as documents, key value pairs, or graphs. They are ideal for applications with unstructured or rapidly changing data, like real-time analytics or social media platforms. MongoDB is a popular NoSQL database that stores data in JSON-like documents, making it flexible and easy to work with. It is perfect for applications that deal with large volumes of data or require fast iterations. To simplify working with databases, many developers use ORMs. ORM stands for Object-Relational Mapping. ORMs allow you to interact with your database using your programming language, instead of writing raw SQL or complex queries. Let's explore some popular ORMs. Prisma is a modern ORM designed for working with SQL databases like PostgreSQL, MySQL, and SQLite. It offers an intuitive and type-safe way to interact with your database, thanks to its strong TypeScript support. With Prisma, you can easily define and migrate your database schema, perform complex queries, and generate database access code automatically. Drizzle is another modern ORM that focuses on simplicity and flexibility. It is lightweight, easy to integrate, and works well with various SQL databases. Drizzle shines in projects where minimal setup and clean code are priorities, making it a great option for developers who prefer a leaner ORM without sacrificing functionality. For MongoDB, Mongoose is the go-to ORM. It allows you to define schemas for your data and provides a rich set of methods to interact with MongoDB. With Mongoose, you can easily validate, query, and manipulate your data. It is a must-have for developers working with MongoDB, providing structure and consistency in schema-less environments. If you want to skip the hassle of managing your backend and database infrastructure, Backend-as-a-service platforms are a fantastic option. They handle authentication, databases, and server-side logic, so you can focus on building your app. Let's look at some popular Backend-as-a-service platforms. Firebase is Google's Backend-as-a-service offering, known for its real-time database, cloud functions, and easy integration with front-end frameworks. It is ideal for real-time applications like chat apps, collaborative tools, or games. Firebase also provides seamless authentication, analytics, and hosting, making it a well-rounded solution for building scalable apps quickly. Supabase is an open-source alternative to Firebase, built on PostgreSQL. It provides real-time capabilities, authentication, and storage, along with a SQL-based backend. Supabase is a great choice for developers who want the convenience of Firebase but prefer an open-source solution with relational database support. Upright is another open-source backend-as-a-service platform that provides all the essential backend services like authentication, database management, file storage, and server-side functions. Its simplicity and flexibility make it perfect for small to medium-sized projects, as well as developers looking for a fully customizable backend solution. Now that we've covered databases and backend infrastructure, let's shift our focus to some modern tools that can significantly enhance your development workflow. First, I want to talk about Shadcn UI. Shadcn UI is a modern, highly customizable component library that stands out for its flexibility and developer-first approach. Built on top of Radix UI and styled with Tailwind CSS, Shadcn UI offers developers a unique blend of functionality and customization. Unlike traditional component libraries that come with pre-built components and limited options for tweaking, Shadcn UI provides the raw source code for each component. This gives you complete control to customize the design and behavior according to your project's unique needs. One standout feature on the Shadcn UI website is its accessible dialog component. This component allows developers to create pop-up modals with full keyboard navigation and screen reader support. Here is a simple implementation example. In this example, the dialog trigger opens the modal, and the dialog content displays the content inside the dialog box. The dialog close button allows users to close the modal. This dialog automatically traps focus within the modal and restores it to the triggering element when closed. So, why use Shadcn UI? It is perfect for developers who want the best of both worlds. the flexibility to fully customize components and the functionality of a pre-built system. By leveraging Radix UI's solid foundation and Tailwind CSS styling capabilities, Shadcn UI helps you create beautiful, accessible, and high-performing user interfaces. If you're looking for a modern UI solution, Shadcn UI is definitely worth exploring. Now it's time to consider another essential aspect of modern applications: authentication. Ensuring secure and seamless access for users is a critical part of building any web application, and choosing the right authentication tool can save you a lot of time and effort. Two outstanding options to explore are Next.js and Kind, each offering unique benefits depending on your project's needs. Next.js is a flexible, open-source authentication library specifically designed for Next.js. It supports a wide range of providers, including popular ones like Google, GitHub, and Facebook, making it easy to integrate social logins into your application. Managing user sessions is straightforward with Next.auth, and it's highly extensible, allowing you to customize its behavior with custom adapters for various databases. This makes it an excellent choice for developers seeking a versatile and developer-friendly solution tailored for Next.js. Whether you're building a personal project or a mid-sized app, Next.js offers the flexibility to handle authentication smoothly and securely. On the other hand, Kind is a modern identity and access management platform designed to simplify the integration of authentication into your application. It provides a clean, developer-friendly API for managing users, sessions, and tokens, while also offering more advanced features like role-based access control. This allows you to define fine-grained user permissions, making it a perfect fit for enterprise-level projects. Additionally, Kind includes built-in multi-factor authentication, adding an extra layer of security for applications where protecting sensitive data is critical. So, both tools serve their purpose well, but the choice depends on your specific requirements. If you're working on a Next.js app and need a flexible, easy-to-configure authentication solution, Next.auth.js is a fantastic option. However, for projects requiring more advanced user management, such as role-based permissions or enterprise-grade security, Kind is an excellent alternative. Either way, integrating the right authentication system will ensure a seamless and secure user experience. In modern web applications, providing a seamless and secure payment experience is essential, and Stripe stands out as one of the most robust and versatile payment processing platforms available. Trusted by businesses worldwide, Stripe offers developers a complete toolkit to handle online payments with ease. Whether you're managing a subscription service, running an e-commerce store, or offering software as a service, Stripe has the flexibility to meet your needs while maintaining the highest security standards. What makes Stripe so popular among developers is its ability to integrate easily into almost any application. With its powerful API and pre-built UI components like Stripe Checkout, you can quickly set up a payment system without building everything from scratch. Another standout feature is Stripe's support for global payments. It allows you to accept payments in multiple currencies and offers various payment methods, including credit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and more. For businesses with recurring revenue models, Stripe simplifies subscription management, providing tools to handle recurring payments, billing cycles, and even automatic proration when customers change their plans. Once we are done with some modern and popular development tools, the next step is to make your project live and accessible to the world. That's where hosting platforms come in. Two standout platforms for modern web applications are Netlify and Vercel. Let's explore what makes these platforms so powerful and why they've become the go-to choices for developers. Netlify is a versatile platform designed to simplify the deployment and management of modern web projects. Known for its Jamstack-first approach, it stands for JavaScript, APIs, and markup. Netlify provides everything you need to deploy static sites, dynamic applications, or even serverless functions with minimal effort. Now let's talk about Vercel. Vercel is another top-tier hosting platform specifically optimized for modern frameworks like Next.js. Backed by the team that developed Next.js, Vercel focuses on delivering lightning-fast performance and a seamless developer experience. Its edge-based infrastructure and serverless architecture make it perfect for deploying high-performance applications. After discussing hosting platforms that bring your web applications to life, let's shift our focus to mobile development, an area that has become essential in today's digital-first world. If you're already familiar with React, stepping into mobile development is a smooth transition. My top recommendation is React Native, paired with Expo to supercharge your development process. Now, let's dive into these tools and explore why they are a perfect combination for building modern mobile apps. React Native is a powerful framework created by Meta that allows developers to use a single JavaScript codebase to build apps for both iOS and Android. Unlike traditional cross-platform frameworks that rely on web views, React Native uses native components, ensuring your app feels and performs like a true native application. Its hot reloading feature allows you to instantly see changes as you code, significantly speeding up development. React Native also has a vast ecosystem of libraries and plugins, making it easy to integrate advanced features like push notifications, animations, or geolocation. To make React Native development even more efficient, I highly recommend using Expo. Expo is a platform built on top of React Native that simplifies the development process by handling configurations and providing a suite of pre-built tools and APIs. With Expo, you can skip the hassle of dealing with native code and focus purely on writing JavaScript. For instance, tasks like setting up push notifications, accessing the device's camera, or handling file uploads are made incredibly straightforward with Expo's out-of-the-box APIs. In short, the combination of React Native and Expo is a game changer for mobile development. React Native provides the foundation for building cross-platform apps, while Expo simplifies the development workflow, making it accessible even for those new to mobile app development. Alright, so we have covered a lot in this video, from the fundamentals of web development to cutting-edge tools and technologies. Whether it is building responsive frontends, efficient backends, or mobile apps, you now have a roadmap to follow this year. The goal is to help you stay ahead in this fast-evolving industry and equip you with the skills to create modern, scalable applications. Here is the thing. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to learn everything at once. The web development ecosystem is massive, and it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. Instead, stay focused. Pick one ecosystem and build your skills around it. For example, if you choose React, stick with it and explore the tools that complement it. Learn Next.js for backend development and use React Native for mobile apps. This approach allows you to go deep instead of spreading yourself too thin. The key is consistent learning and applying what you learn in real projects. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming tutorials. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to create more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.